Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Juju and Football. So, this is Game Week 2 review. Wow, where should we start? I think we should start with the last game. It's just happened. That's Crystal Palace vs Arsenal. Like, okay, like what we're going to do is go through the games. Mainly talk this weekend. It's mainly about the refs. The refs have been crap, like really crap. They're making they're making the Premier League like it almost feels like a farmers league. Like it you can't say it's the best league with such refs. So let's look at Arsenal game first, then we shall go through all the other games. So the Arsenal game, Arsenal really started, let me say, fairly well. They created some chances. Nketiah should have scored at least. He had two good chances. He should have scored at least one of them, but he didn't. So also Crystal Palace had their moments, but they didn't really create like really very good chances. They didn't really get very good chances, but they had some chances. Second half, Nketiah gets played through like from a free kick, and then the keeper comes out. So Nketiah knocks the ball past the keeper and then dives. Yes, there's contact, but then he just waits for the contact because he knows the keeper's come and he's gotten the ball before the keeper. So I've seen that happen, I think 2 or 3 times. It happened with Anthony, like he got to the ball before the keeper and nothing happened. The game was played on. Also in our game against Wolves, the defender got the ball before Onana and nothing happened. Like the game, okay, that they came and apologized, but they didn't for the other. They did not do anything for the other occurrences. So I don't know. They should be clear about like such decisions. That was, yes, it's a penalty, but then be consistent and give them in other games. So why only give it in this game? That's the problem. So Arsenal got like a cheap penalty. I feel these refs are helping Arsenal. These refs are helping Arsenal. So there's that. Then Crystal Palace have a player that what's his name? Pate dangles his leg and he doesn't get the ball, so he tackles the player and the player goes down and the ref plays on and what, and they say it's not clear and obvious. Like, how is it not clear and obvious? Like, someone tackles you, there is contact. What is VR and VAR for then? Because it's clear and obvious. Like, someone has tackled you, you're falling down. They should give a penalty. So Crystal Palace aren't given a penalty. I don't know why. I don't know what the VAR is for. Like, cause now, like let the football just go back to the days without VAR. Cause now it's like they want to stick with the ref's decision, but the refs are making funny decisions. So if you don't help them make the right decisions, why are you there in the first place? So it is really frustrating. So Crystal Palace should have had a penalty. Then Tomiyasu gets the first yellow card for taking long to take a throw, of which he wasn't the one with the ball in the first place. He didn't really have the ball for a long time. It's anyway, I don't know, but someone else had the ball before him. Then when he got the ball for like maybe 5 seconds, then they gave him a yellow card. So the second yellow card, the Crystal Palace player turns him and is running away from him almost, but not really. And there's a sort of a pull back, not really pull back, but the Crystal Palace player felt a hand on his back and he just went down. And he gets another yellow card. But then that other yellow card, it just felt like this ref knew I've not given Crystal Palace their penalty. They should have had a penalty, and his brain is trying to like equalize the things. But then, man, that doesn't make it right. So yeah, that trade is not deserved. Tomiyasu gets a red card, and the game is like it becomes a funny game. Uh, Arsenal sit back for most of the rest of the game. So, and then so that was the Arsenal game, let's say, and I've managed to uh, get the 3 points. So yeah, Arsenal 2 wins out of 2 games. They're having a good start. They've had some shaky moments, but they're getting wins. That's the most important thing. And all right, let's see how they go on. The next game that we can look at, let's see games that were played yesterday. So yesterday we can look at Aston Villa versus Everton. Um, that was really good, a good display by Aston Villa. I felt they really played well, all as like the whole team. The only player that didn't really impress, mainly because I captained him in my fantasy team, is Watkins. So, but the rest of the team really played well. They create chances very well. And that's why I also felt like in the first game they'll give Newcastle a very good game, and they created chances in the first game, but they just were not able to finish. So this game they were able to finish. They had um, they won by, I think, is it 3 or 4 goals, something like that. So very interesting game, very good watch. I think, and also I think in this game the penalty decision, where Pickford comes out and Watkins is gets the ball before him, and Pickford gets Watkins instead. I think that's a penalty. That's a good decision. But then the problem is they are not given in other cases. That's the problem. Like these refs are like rebels that are sponsored by a government. Like I don't know, the government is giving them power, and they are rebels, like they're against football. Because these decisions are just funny. Like they should do something about it, and it's like clubs can't do anything to the refs. No one can do anything to the refs. Well, these clubs like let me say Fulham, they had the poor decision of a penalty against them. I think they had someone sent off. Uh, Such clubs and any other clubs, these cards are going to, in like later on, it's going to turn out that because you missed out on maybe 1 point or 3 points, you're relegated, or you cannot win something, or you cannot get into the Champions League, things like this, and it's because of these refs, and they don't want to change. I don't know. I don't know what Tim Howard is doing. What's his name? The the former ref. I hear Tim Howard. The former ref. Like what is he doing? The guy in charge of the refs union and stuff. It's been a crap show, like for the game week 2 by the refs. So okay, let's look at another game. Another game is West Ham versus Chelsea. Mm, very very funny. I think I think the Sunday games are the only results that I liked. All the other results are, yeah, they're just there. I didn't like them. Chelsea, I told you they're going to be an interesting team to watch, but they're not going to get results. So first game, I think they drew with Liverpool, and but the game was good, like up and down, like very open game. Both teams creating chances and getting chances, moving through the midfield easily. The problem with Chelsea is they do not have a striker. Like Todd Bowley has spent a lot of money, but how does he not see like they need a striker? Like some of the midfielders, they don't need they need a striker. They've gotten a striker, but he's not like it's almost like they want to do what they did with Drogba, like get someone that's not really known in Europe, and then he turns out to be like elite. I don't think it's going to work the same way. Um, but then yeah, that's going to be Chelsea. That's my feeling. They're going to be a team that's good to watch, but they'll not be getting results really. And Poch should watch out because I think I don't think he'll last long there. He's liked by like the English like press and what, but I don't think he'll last long there. Cause he's not like, yeah, people can talk about um him developing teams and players and what. He's getting young players. He's going to develop them, but well, he's just not a winner. Like he's not. It's not in him. Like yes, he develops players, but you have to be a manager that can develop players, but has like that taste for winning. Like you just want to win at all costs. You want to win, and Poch doesn't really have that in my opinion. So that's Chelsea. West Ham did really played well. You can see they knew what they're trying to do. They played very well, and then also I think the Poch made a mistake with bringing in what's his name, Caicedo. Like he's not played for for is it 2 months? He has not played. So why did you bring him in? Why? Like the player that got off looked okay in the game. Why bring in someone who has not played for 2 months? So that's I don't know. That's anyway. That's what he saw, but I don't think it was a good decision. So yeah. But Chelsea lost the game. West Ham won. That was a very good game. Though Sterling looked very good for Chelsea. That's also something that you can keep watching in the coming games. I think Sterling is going to improve massively. Another game. So maybe when we look at the Saturday games, we had Fulham versus Brentford. So I felt Fulham will really give Brentford a game, but then it turned out that Brentford had an easy one. Brentford are very good at counter-attacking or transitioning when they get the ball. Very good team at transitioning and counter-attacking. So first goal, Fulham make a mistake near the box and Brentford pounce on it and it's a goal. Second goal, which was a penalty. Well, I don't see how that is a penalty. That's the first thing. And another thing, why doesn't VAR come in and tell the ref that it's not clear and obvious? That's it is it is clear and obviously not a penalty. Because people body check themselves all the time. Like he didn't even really like push him. And if you watch the video, it's like the striker puts like puts his body into the defender and then misses the ball. So when the ref gives a penalty, why doesn't VAR come in and say you come and watch this? Like I think if you see what really happened, you won't give that penalty, but they let it play on. So I think it's another poor decision. And this game week we've had five red cards. What are they trying to prove? Like it's I don't know. The refs have been crap this week. Very very useless. So then another game that we can look at. So yeah, Brentford won that. They got the penalty. They scored the penalty. Then they're playing against Stedman and they got another goal. Another game we can look at is Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Another game with poor decisions. So Bournemouth gave Liverpool, I think, like an early scare. They first got an offside goal. Alisson looked confused coming out and anyway, I think making a bit of shaky, funny decisions early in the game. So they got that offside goal, then they got the first goal. It was a good goal, good shot. Then Liverpool settled into the game and managed to equalize and um, score. And then if you look at the tackle, McAllister comes in and the boots, because he's trying to go for the ball, but the opponent, the Bournemouth player, gets to the ball before McAllister, but the ball isn't on the floor. The ball is a bit off the floor, so he has to raise his boot a bit, and the ball after he gets the ball, then he meets the McAllister's boot, so the boots meet. He didn't step like his leg or something like that. It's the boots that met. If you watch, you can see it. If you watch the tackle again, and he's not fully into the tackle, but he just wants to win the ball. So when the boots meet and the Bournemouth player falls down, and then the ref pulls out a red. So it's okay. Like the ref, yeah, there's what he sees is, and but then why are the cameras there and why is VAR there? So the ref saw that maybe it was a bad tackle. He felt that way. Maybe the guy comes with an open boot or something like that and steps the player. So he gives a straight red. That's not the issue. What's VAR there for? They play they play the incidents again, and you can see it's the boots that make contact. So why are you sending off someone? I don't know. That they're playing. Ah, it's oh god. So it's very funny. You cannot understand how they've allowed such things to happen. Like it's the best league in the world. How are they allowing such funny decisions like to just happen? And they're not going to do anything about it. Like they're just going to move on like nothing happened. So I think that's very poor that they're making the league standards like get low. So I think they should do something about the refs. Then another game that we can look at is the Wolves versus Brighton. Mm, Brighton. So I think Wolves played well before they started conceding goals. They had their own chances. I think they hit the woodwork. But Brighton are very nice to watch. Caught the eye. They are very very good team to watch. So they played really well. They created chances. The first goal was really Mitoma, like doing his thing. Went through the players and scored his goal. But then all the other goals, it's structure. You can see structure from the goals. They know they cannot shoot from certain areas. They have to get to certain areas and cross the ball. Like it was a very nice game to watch. So Brighton have really had strong start to the season. I'm scared of getting to the Brighton game as a Man U fan. So that's the other game. The other Saturday game was Tottenham versus Manchester United. We all know how that went. So Tottenham won the game. I think United played well in the first half, but the game it's a 90 minutes game. But then the handball, another ref's decision that's just crap, just nonsense. So so the handball, we had the chance. I think it's Garnacho that got the ball, and he wants and he shoots. And then the Spurs player comes out like to block, but then he one arm is this side and the other arm is up this side. Well, what he's doing is like he's not falling. He has come to block. He's not falling. He's not falling down that he needs his arms to be out to support his body or anything like that. He has come to block the shot, and he has made his body wide. So if the ball hits his arms, why don't you give a penalty? Like, why? Because in this case, proximity cannot come in. Like even though he's just next to the ball, he's trying to block the ball. He's making his body wide. So why how can you talk about his close or proximity to the ball? That becomes nonsense. So that's a penalty. Um, well, I'm not saying it would have made things different. I'm just saying the refs need to change. That's what I'm saying. The refs need to change the way they are refereeing the games. So, but we created good opportunities or chances we should have scored, but we didn't. Second half, it's like, I don't know. It's like the players that promised Ten Hag were going to give you like one half, the second half we're going to be tired or something like this. It's like these guys aren't eating well. I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're not fit. I don't know. It's like preseason wasn't meant for fitness. They were doing something else in preseason. There's like, you look at the Manu team. Yes, the first half gives you uh how do you say, like hope or something like that. It's like we're still playing preseason games. That's the best way I can put it. We're still playing preseason games. So the first half was good. The second half was rubbish. Tottenham created very good chances. They scored, and then another one is Pelestri. I think that's also a penalty because he gets into the box and the defender trips him. So why isn't it a penalty? I don't know. It should. I think it's clear and obvious. But if they don't want to give such penalties, they should tell us what's given as a penalty so that we can know. Than confusing everyone, whereby sometimes they're given, other times they're not given, and then VAR can't come in. So it's a very funny situation with the penalties and the cards that they're giving. I think they should limit how they're giving out bookings. They should limit, or they should look at that again. It's going to be too much. So then the last game of Saturday was Manchester City versus Newcastle. Man City won by 1-0. Yeah, that's Man City. Boring team. They don't know how to concede goals. I don't know. Let's wait for the next game and see if they'll concede a goal. Yeah, that's Man City. And then last game we can look at was the game on Friday that started off the week, was Nottingham Forest versus Sheffield United. Nottingham Forest really looked good at home. They played well. They created some good chances. Aurier had a lot of space, mostly in the first half. He had a lot of space to himself to put in the crosses, and they were very good crosses. They managed to score. He got 2 assists. I think that was the first time he's getting 2 assists in his career. So that shows you the kind of game that he had. Like, he had a lot of space. If you watch the game, he was always alone in the wing, always alone. Like in the first half, it was unbelievable. Like he had a lot of time to himself. He would get the ball, control the ball, give himself a little bit of space to be able to cross the ball, and there was no one near him, no one. So I don't know. Sheffield United, they also played well. They created some chances, but they're going down. They're just not good enough for the Premier League. I think they'll be going down. Nottingham Forest, I think they've started fairly well. They're versing Manchester United this Saturday, so hopefully we can get a win and at least start our season in a way. We already have 3 points, but it's like we're still in preseason. So hopefully we can start, because after Nottingham Forest we have Arsenal, which will be a tough game, and then Brighton, which is also going to be a very tough game. So those were the games of the weekend. Maybe uh, to conclude, okay, since I'm a United fan, but also like football, and we've had this case of Greenwood. So he's been let go by the club. I think they'll terminate his contract. He'll be moving to wherever he can get a chance to play football. So, but then the statements like that have been put out by the club are okay. You can understand it that he's been a player that has had a few issues during his time at the club, like as before this issue with his fiancée or his wife, or I don't know. So before that issue, he had a few issues like with the England setup, even at United. He missed some games. He was coming late. I don't know. There are issues that we don't know like details about, but like a few things would come out. There's something wrong with him, and he was kind of protected by the club. But I think because of this other issue that didn't even manage to go to court, and the case was thrown out, and uh, the victim, or I don't know, whoever, they don't want to like that like withdrawing maybe like statements and things like this. So I think for United, they've mainly based on like the previous situation, like his conduct previously, because the statement that they say, it's almost like they're saying he didn't do the things that the victim accused him of, or the fiance accused him of, but then the other things that he had done, and he's he's learning from those other things, or he's like he knows he has made those other mistakes, something like that. So because it's he didn't do this that he's being accused of, but he has made mistakes. So I think the mistakes are to refer before this accusation came in, or before this case came in. So Greenwood is no longer part of the Manchester United setup. Is it a good thing? Well, it's understandable. If it was just because of this accusation, then it wouldn't be understandable. But if you look like at the background, he has had some other issues. I think, yeah, with that, yeah, it's you can take it. With this, like you look, many United fans were like really wanted him out, like just because of these accusations. There was talk of the women's team not wanting him back. Is it support groups that are in connection with women and women rights and things like that, domestic abuse, all these things. But then these are people that have decided to have a baby, cause like okay, like yeah, the man has the sperms, but the woman decides if they want to get pregnant or not. Like after God, if your sperms work and the ovaries work, so that's God's part. After that, it's the woman that decides. If she doesn't want to get pregnant, well, your sperms aren't going to do shit. So and she got pregnant after this case, like when the investigations were going on, not before. So when the investigations were going on, she got pregnant. Well, why would her family allow that? Like if there was really a lot in it, why would the police or whoever is doing the investigation allow them to be able to have these meets, like be together and things like this? So it was all like, yes, they accused him, but like you listen to the audio and see the pictures, and clearly you know that's not the whole story. Like that's the first thing. But the way everyone just decided this is the full story, this is what we know, and run with that. Well, I just think it's not a way to judge people. It's not a way to look at things in life. You have to, yes, have an opinion, but then give things a lot of time. But then if you know half a story, why do you decide, like why do you strongly decide on something when you know half a story and you know it's half a story? So it's a mix like that. But then yeah, he's gone. Let's see. I don't think he'll ever like become a really big star. I think if things like this happen early on in your career, it slows you down. It puts a bad light on you, and it just spoils your career. So wherever he'll go, I don't think he'll really make it big. I feel he'll be a Morrison type of player. I don't know if you know about Morrison. He was also a United player in the academy, tipped to be like a superstar, like tipped to be one of the best players Fergie had managed. In fact, there's a story like Fergie took, is it Rooney and I don't know who else, to go and watch him play in the academy. So, but then because of also issues outside of football, he just didn't manage to kick on. So yeah, okay, maybe Greenwood could be better than that. That's if he really settles in, and uh, puts aside these issues and focuses on playing, which I think is going to be very hard. If he really did what he's being accused of, I don't think it's going to be the last time. Because if he really did that, then I don't think it was the first time. Because most cases you don't get uh, exposed like the first time you do something that's like wrong. So I don't think if he did it, I don't think it was the first time, and I don't think it's going to be the last time. So that's another thing. So these people that pretend to support or care or what, well, if you know more than other people know, well, just know that victim or that woman is still in danger. Maybe the child that she's going to have is also going to be put in danger. So if United know more and know that he did these things, I don't know, don't just push him out and let the other world deal with it. Like that's like elitism. So yeah, that's my thinking on Greenwood. And all right, I think with that we can say goodbye to game week 2 of the Premier League. It's been one filled with poor decisions by the refs. Hopefully, the next one, game week 3, can be better. Yeah, so Premier League refs, please, better performance in game week 3. All right, see ya.